James gets lost in a Lamborghini. Richard drives over a bridge in a Ferrari. And I wear a small hat in an Aston Martin. While we were off there, the three of us had a bit of an argument about what would be the best car to take on a grand tour of Europe. I reckon, and I'm right, it's the Aston Martin DBS Volante. Richard says no, it isn't. It's the Ferrari California. And James, who's a bit weird, says it's the Lamborghini Gallardo, the new one with the 560 horsepower engine.
Well, it is.
No, it isn't. What that is a two-seater mid-engine 560 horsepower supercar. What you want for a grand tour is engine at the front, nice comfy suspension, 4 seats, and a big boot for all your luggage.
Exactly, which is why you want the Aston.
Well, yeah, it's the best, apart from the fact that the Ferrari costs 140,000, the Lambo 150, and the Aston is the best part of 170,000.
Yes.
And it's the slowest to 60 miles an hour.
Yes.
And it's got the smallest top speed.
Yes. But that's a V8, that's a V10, that's a V12. More is better.
No,
It is.
I'll hold my breath.
He is now holding his breath.
Anyway, the producer said that the only real way to sort this out was to take these cars on an actual grand tour. So we thought, yes, south of France or Italy or the Black Forest.
But then they said no. They said that we had to take them to Romania. This is what springs to mind when we think about Romania. Not that we do very often. We imagine it's full of oxes and people throwing stones at gypsies. So you'd imagine that turning up in cars like this might look like showing off. We did too. Coming here in a car that costs £168,000 is a bit like turning up in the Sudan in a suit made entirely out of food. But then we arrived in the Black Sea town of Mamaia, and it wasn't really what we were expecting. My Jag, Porsche, Ferrari, Audi R8 V10, Ferrari. If Simon Cowell came here, they'd put him on income support. Look at it!
It's 430. It's 599. Yeah, okay. We're not as conspicuous as the first fee.
Have you ever seen a like, Hammond?
No, it's staggering.
And then, just when we thought the car park couldn't get any better, oh my God! That is, isn't it?
It is a Dacia Sandero.
That is it.
I think this is the 1.6.
It is the 1.6. I completely forgot that actually this is where the Sandero is from. I've been thinking about that car for 2 years.
Sadly, before he could think about it anymore, a challenge arrived.
You are here to seek out a road built by a former dictator. Officially, it's called the Highway. Unofficially, it's known as Ceausescu's Folly. People speak of it in whispers. They say it's the best road in the world.
So we're here to look.
We've got to find it. We decided to look in the mountains, which were 300 miles away. And on the journey, each of us would hope to prove our car was best. Yes, if you used facts and figures when buying a car, you probably would end up with the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. In the same way, if you used facts and figures to buy a house, you'd end up in Dunfermline, because you get a lot more for your money.
This is a whole new type of car for Ferrari. This is the first with a V8 engine in the front. It's the first direct injection engine they've produced. It's the first Ferrari with a metal folding roof. This is the first time Ferrari have produced a car with a DSG gearbox, which means you get absolutely seamless gear changes. This isn't a Ferrari for the track. It's for long journeys, exactly like this one.
At Now James had the chance to explain why he brought a mid-engine two-seater supercar on a grand tour.
By driving around in a Lamborghini, you are actually doing the world a favour because it's a thing of beauty. Other people can look at it and they can enjoy it. It's like owning one of Raphael's Virgins and running around the streets holding it above your head instead of just putting it on the wall.
So that we could talk to each other on our long journey, we decided to pull over and connect our phones into the car's Bluetooth systems. In the Aston and the Lamborghini, this was very easy. Bluetooth on. Press end to continue.
The phone must be paired before
Yes,
it's used.
pairing my phone, yeah?
They add names and phone numbers to
Yes,
the memory
yes,
via
yes,
the
yes.
verbal menu, so that you can press the phone button and say, call Mary, which will place a call to Mary. Pressing the VR button while the system is speaking.
Please
is
stop.
charging in.
Synchronizing. Yes! I'm there! I'm connected! I'm Bluetoothed!
Bluetooth switched on, oh joy.
Home, work, mobile, or pager.
Work! I'm at work!
Name, please.
Richard! How does that help?
Please repeat the name after the beep.
With our phones connected, eventually, we put our roofs up, which, without wishing to boast, you can do on the move in the Aston, and then we were ready for a motorway blast to Bucharest. Oh, there's the V12!
12508.
Then we did what we weren't supposed to do.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh yeah, this is what we mustn't do.
Just has the legs, that Ferrari. Just.
Yeah, this might be a GT car, but it's not a slouch.
Aston Martin has gone to simply enormous lengths to make the DBS convertible as light as possible. It has a carbon fibre bonnet, carbon fibre wings, carbon fibre boot, carbon fibre door pulls even. They've even made the carpet out of a specially lightweight weave, and the results speak for themselves. This is by far and away the heaviest car of the three. Have you noticed something, Hammond?
What?
I don't see a black Lamborghini anywhere near us.
What, you mean the one that is on paper the fastest here?
James was merrily tootling along, apparently under the illusion he was presenting his wine programme.
Really a good place to stop for a bag of grapes, and there's 3 more people holding up similar grapes, and there's the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. I think we're well covered for grapes there.
Meanwhile, Hammond's Ferrari had decided all on its own to make a telephone call.
Selected. Calling.
What?
K.
Vernon?
Is this correct?
Why, Vernon? Hi. Hello, mate. It's Richard Hammond.
For miles, our convoy ruled the road. But then... Oh my God! Look here!
What's that?
That's the Dacia Sandero.
I'm going to see if I can hold on to the back of it.
1.260 valve, that thing can shift.
Come on! Keep up with the Sandero! Hammond's Ferrari might have got it, but unfortunately...
Why are you doing that now? Why are you calling Vernon K again?
Hi, Richard.
Vernon! It's Richard Hammond again. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just in the studio. Everyone's kind of stopped work.
Good.
While refuelling on the outskirts of Bucharest, James and Richard bought me a present. Great.
What now?
My life is complete.
Yeah,
That's
you-
all now.
Very big round here, apparently.
And then James thought of a new game.
Why don't we have a sat-nav challenge? Because mine is a German one and will be superior.
It's Audi, isn't it?
It is.
No, good idea. We could start here. Ready, steady, go. Set your sat-nav for People's Palace. I know it exists. first to get to the People's Palace is the winner. Are you ready?
Yes.
Steady.
Yes.
Yes.
Go! Now, I should explain before we start, I have a Volvo system. Unanimously, everybody agrees it's the worst sat-nav in the world. Rise! Rise!
Mercifully, in the California, the sat-nav system was much better than the Bluetooth.
Nearby point of interest, that's going to be the first order of business.
Whereas in the Lambo, James was regretting his new game.
Country, Ijakim and Mendo Peak. It goes from Portugal to San... How can they not have... The Italians don't acknowledge the existence of Romania.
117.
No. 1 to 42, that is all.
Right, I got it.
No!
People's Palace.
People.
Not the best present I've ever had, if I'm honest, but it's tactless to just ignore them.
Please follow the road.
Yes, I will gladly follow the road.
For 7.3 kilometres. Technology and I are now getting on absolutely fine.
Calling Stephen Accountant.
No, don't do that.
Feel roundabout here,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
and here.
System that Aston use is that it tells you where you've been, which is only of any use if you think your wife's having an affair. James was now on the move, but obviously his map had been drawn by a distant relative.
When he said roundabout, did he mean roundabouts or did he mean crossroads? Fortunately, the producers had given me a Romanian phrasebook. Unfortunately, it was a bit confusing. Bună seara! Hai să comparam usa cu gheam se dublaj la toate gheamurile.
Meanwhile, less than a mile from the People's Palace, the sat-nav race was hotting up. Hammond! Get him!
What's he doing here?
Come on!
I'm winning by 1.5 metres. I found it first.
No, I found it with my
But
eyes.
you didn't. I found it first.
Bună seara! Anul trecut pe vremea aceasta eram în Scoția.
Hammond and I, meanwhile, were still racing. This... But when we saw the People's Palace, we sort of stopped. Today, it's the Romanian Parliament building, but it was once the private house of notorious dictator Nicolae Ceausescu.
If that's his idea of a house, what's his idea of a road going to be like?
Jenny, you know that is the heaviest building in the world.
Yeah, that's what you'd build, isn't it?
It is. Million cubic metres of marble in there.
Ceausescu wasn't mental, was he?
Complete mental. And an unpleasant mental.
He had people go ahead of him and paint the leaves green wherever he went.
As we waited, James had become really lost.
It is the Arc de Triomphe. It's priority à droit. That's it.
While we waited, we were informed we might get a visit from a local dignitary.
The Secretary General of the Chamber of Deputies.
Jeremy, you are familiar with the local customs, aren't you?
What?
Fingers out. When she extends to shake hands, you just plop it in. And that's what you did. That's how it works.
Hello, sir. Aceste lazi ne sunt de accesa se marinei.
God, do you remember in 2009 they used to make that? What was it called?
It was a lamb.
Behold the People's Palace.
While waiting for James, the local dignitary had given us permission to drive in the network of tunnels underneath the government building. This, we feel, is not something that would be allowed in Britain. that is a decibelometer, and I'm going to see how loud the Ferrari is. Ready? 74, 89.
89.
I saw an 89.
I saw an 89.
89, yeah. It's good, it's quite nasty down there. This is our best game yet!
All you need to play this game, in case you're interested at home, is a People's Palace with a tunnel underneath it.
Yeah.
Three
supercars.
supercars and a cheap app, and you're there. It turned out that all three cars were equally loud. So we abandoned the signs and went to the pub, where we were just in time to catch the local version of Top Gear.
В салоне концерна Рено и представляем новехонький автомобиль Dacia Sandero.
I just wish that girl would get out of the way so we could see the car more.
Dacia Sandero — современный.
I bet that would sound good in the tunnels.
Хороший знаменитый. Сегодня
What a magnificent thing.
новая Dacia Sandero.
We'll pick that up later on. But now it is time to do news. And we begin with a story from Australia, in fact. Australian authorities are really going to get tough on boozed up fans at the Bathurst motor race. Well, I say motor race, it's actually a fight every year between rival gangs of Ford supporters and GM supporters. Okay, now the way they've cracked this is they say each fan is going to be limited to just 24 cans of lager each a day. Just 24 a day, no more than that.
As well, to 4 litres a day.
Do you know what they are actually doing to get round it? They're getting
What, Australians?
Yeah, Australians are going there 2 weeks before the race and burying beer.
You have an Australian guest on later. I'm going to talk to him about this because I'm fascinated.
Yes.
We must move on.
We must. McLaren have announced a new supercar. Here it is. It's called the MP412C.
That'll sound good with adenoids.
Yeah,
Want to come for a ride in my MP4-12C?
No, it sounds like a telephone. However, interesting thing about this car particularly is the previous McLaren supercars, the F1 and the Merc SLR, were very, very expensive. This, £170,000.
Oh, cheap.
Oh, that's all right.
As I said that, I
No, I know what you mean. It's cheaper than
Exactly. It's kind of saying
half the price of the SLR.
And this is the first time they put their own engine into a 3.8 litre twin-turbo V8. So there's a lot of exciting things about it.
No, I hope that works for me because they've had a rotten week. You know, all their vehicles have been recalled because they've been amputating people's limbs.
No, it's not the it's not the vehicles, mate. It's the prams, the pushchairs, McLaren buggies.
Oh, I thought Rowan Atkinson had his arm cut off.
No,
It's McLaren prams.
yes, the buggies.
Oh, God.
Interesting thing about this story is it's come about because of 12 cases in the States of children having their fingers amputated by them. And so as a result, they've recalled all the pushchairs. But the pushchairs are the same all over the world, and it's only in the States that they're recalling them. Not over here, for instance. They're...
No, there's a very good reason for that, though. I think it's because British parents are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Intelligent.
Yes. Yeah. Because how could I can't shut this buggy down. There's these little pink things in it.
I got the kid screaming his head off. Junior, that's got it.
Don't get it. There you go.
Now, do you want to combine your love of camping with your love of buying the wrong Porsche? No, because I have good news, okay? Because you can now buy, it's a new type of Boxster, okay? With a tent on the top of it. Here it is. Look at that roof. It looks like a tramp's hat.
What it is, it's called the Boxster Spider, and it's kind of a super lightweight version. So it only weighs 1,250 kilos, top speed 166 miles an hour, 0 to 64.8 seconds. And it's that fast because it's got a very clever gearbox. It's called
Is it German?
No, it's a German name.
Oh.
It's really complicated. So let me just spell this out. It's a DOPPLUPPELSGIE.
get it on the speaker? That's a long word. Do you know what that means? You speak German.
I do.
Well, what's the only German you can say?
Aber ja, natürlich Hans' Nase steht unter dem Wasserfall.
What's that mean?
Naturally, Hans is wet. He's standing under a waterfall.
Okay.
I use it all the time.
That's kind of a one-shot deal, isn't it?
Anyway, if you want the wrong car, which has no door handles and no air conditioning and no radio and has a tent on the top of it, then there you are, the Boxster double run.
It's not got all those things to keep it light, because it's still 44 grand, that thing.
£44,000, you don't even get door handles.
Now that we've been sent this, it's a eco-friendly, portable, disposable, cardboard lavatory for use by the side of the road. The idea is you drive along, you get caught a bit short, can't find the nearest carsy, you pop it out, erect it, and do what you have to do.
Are you about to tell us you have been caught short?
No.
Because I don't think you should...
No, I'm not. I was going to say that we shall give this a fair test on Top Gear by giving it to the world's most practical man, which is Clarkson.
What, you want to build it?
I do.
Oh, God, I hate this sort of thing. Where's the instructions?
Have you ever noticed, watching him do anything practical, it's like watching an orangutan. Look at his face. Honestly, look at his face. It goes all...
Very long.
He's happy, but confused.
They actually put a picture of Jeremy on the bag load showing you how to assemble it.
These instructions, look at these. They bear no relation to as always, to the thing that they're supplied with.
See, look, he's doing the egg thing.
And bear in mind, you have to erect this, well, basically desperate for a number two.
Well, I was going to say...
With lorries going by, could you erect this while you were touching cloth? You can. So you can get that erected.
I'm prepared to bet that question has never been asked on any other car show ever. She's good.
How have you done that? She's bloody done it, look. That was it. How did you do that? Look, she's made a lavatory. So you just put that on the side of the road.
There's no need to demonstrate!
Do you know what, honestly, I'd rather just crap my...
Can we move on?
I'm not the world's most unpractical man.
You are.
I am, actually, you are. Anyway, we've got to get on.
Yes, anyway, we've had a letter. It's literally from some bankers, and it says, Dear Top Gear, this time last year we didn't have any money, but the government has given us some now. However, we don't want the public to know that we're loaded again, so we need really fast, expensive cars that are quite discreet. Can you help? Yours sincerely, some bankers. Well, as it happens, yes, we can help. And we begin with something from BMW. This here is the BMW 760Li, or to give it its other name, BMW Move Over, Poor Person, because this is the biggest, most expensive and most powerful car BMW makes. It has a 6-litre V12, which sounds like plenty. But obviously someone at BMW thought, no. So, for a bit of extra schnell, this car has got 2 turbochargers. The result is 544 bhp, and the power station under the bonnet is connected to a brand new 8-speed gearbox. Put all that lot together, and even someone as laid back as me can quite easily, look, get a bit of a lick on. It'll batter most 11s in a sprint to 60. And delimited, it would hit 188 miles an hour. But those numbers only tell half the story. This is a bizarre kind of fast. It's quiet and relaxed and smooth. It's like swimming over a waterfall of double cream. A luxurious waterfall too. The 760 has seats that massage you and an SAS spec night vision system. And here's a clever thing. I'm pulling up to this junction. View is quite obstructed. I can't really see what's coming, but if I press this button, there are little cameras mounted on the wings that give you eyes on the side of your head. It's like being a rabbit. And the price? A smudge under £100,000. Now, if you have that sort of money to spend on a car, there's a good chance you'll want to pay somebody to drive it for you. So that's exactly what I've done. I've got myself a chauffeur. He's in a bit of a bad mood, to be honest, because I've told him this is my test. It's not about tyre smoke and going. Series is only available as a long wheelbase model, which means you get an extra 5 inches of legroom in the back. Doesn't sound much, but it makes a world of difference. And I can watch the television. I've actually got something on here. It's rather interesting. It's about antiques. What are you doing, man? Bloody hell. Oh, God, I see the problem. The Mercedes S63 has turned up. That's the other car I was going to test. And that sort of puts Stig's on heat. That S-Class is actually the AMG tuned version. Apparently it's a bit of a rocket ship. I can see why Stig has got the red mist. Luckily, Stig's a bit too stupid to work out where all the driver aids are on this. Oh no, he's found it. Oh God. Stig has put the dynamic driving control into Sport Plus. That sharpens up throttle response and gear changes. Lucky Nora. Oh God, he's switched the stability control off altogether. That locks up the rear differential. The extra... Ow! Hooligan! Oh! So, the Mercedes, the most powerful non-turbo V8 car in the world. It costs the same as the BMW, it comes only in business class long wheelbase form like the BMW, and like the BMW, it's dripping with technology. Even the interior lighting has 3 different colour settings. In fact, there's such a bewildering array of gizmos on both cars that it's almost impossible to choose between them. So we're going to make it a bit easier with a game of top trumps. Here's my opponent, the Stig. It's just like normal top trumps, except all of Stiggy's cards are the BMW and all of mine are the Mercedes. Ready? Okay, TV screens. Mercedes has TV in the front. BMW, I know the answer to this. It's got 2, isn't it? Front and rear, so you win that pair. Climate control, Mercedes 2-zone. And the BMW, we know, has got 4-zone climate control, so you win that pair. It's not difficult. Right, seat massage system, Mercedes front and rear seat massage. And the BMW, right, BHP. Okay, that's not working. So let's go back to the traditional Philistine top gear method. A drag race. I went in the Mercedes with Stig at the wheel. I think I'll have firm massage for this. The BMW quickly took the lead and stayed there to the end. That made Stig so angry, he went home. So, the S-Class, when you drive it, you realise it's got much more of a split personality than the BMW. On the one hand, it has lots of very civilising features. It has active body control, and it's so clever it can detect a crosswind and compensate for it. It even has a drowsiness sensor to prevent you from nodding off. But put your foot down, and suddenly it erupts with typical AMG volcanic storm and fury. And here's something that really baffles me. On the dashboard, I have a race time that allowed you to record your lap times, but why? I mean, in the 911 GT3, yes. But who's that for? Sir Alan Sugar on a track day? And that's the problem with the Mercedes. It has a strangely confused personality. And for that reason, Mercedes S63 AMG, you're fired.
So let's just get this straight. Quite wrongly, you prefer the BMW.
No, I think they're both completely pointless.
Couldn't agree with you more. They are absolutely pointless. And now, I'm afraid, we must dive even more deeply into the murky waters of their irrelevance by handing them over to our tame racing driver. Some say that in the autumn, all his arms go brown and fall off. And that if he wrote you a letter of condolence, he would at least get your name right. All we know is he's called the Stog.
You mean the stick?
That's what I said. I said it. And they're off. It is very wet out there. Tiny wiggle of the hips from the BMW as the turbos spool up. And here's something not very interesting. That 760 has BMW's first petrol V12 with two turbos. Oh, look, that is much more interesting there. He's getting very sideways. Yeah, now his way of getting through the pain. God, that BMW is very sideways there. Now coming up to Hammerhead, we're expecting understeer here from these 2-ton barges. And yep, 7 Series is ploughing wide, more composed. I suspect because the traction control can't be fully switched off. Right now, here we are, follow through. It really is wet out there. Stig would be better off in an excellent barge, I think. Now they're quick through the tyres. Look up Brave in the dictionary. It says, see the Stig. 2 corners left. BMW's all over the shot. That let the S-Class ahead, but they're evenly matched. Going to Cameron across the line. Go here. Go here.
Right, the Mercedes S63 did it there in 132.1. The BMW did it in 131.2. Which
Brilliant, so there we are. If you are a banker and you like to get anywhere in a big hurry, go for the BMW. Consumer advice for you there. Now, it is time to put a start in our reasonably priced car. My guest tonight, it seems, always wanted to be a racing driver, but then he accidentally ended up being in films like Star Trek, Finding Nemo, Black Hawk Down, Troy, and so on and so forth. So, here to find out what on earth went wrong, from somewhere called Australia, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Banner! There. Water, it's okay. Won't have anything dangerous in it.
Yeah.
So this Bathurst motor race we were talking about earlier, have you heard about this beer thing? Where they're now limiting the amount of beer each fan can take it to 24 cans a day.
It's a serious restriction. I mean, that's practically teetotaling, isn't it?
Because this rivalry between Ford and GM is ingrained from birth, isn't it, in all Australia?
It is, it's pretty deep-seated. Well, I guess, they're the two main manufacturers when, if you're my age, when you were growing up. It was, the General Motors product, which was Holden, Commodores, Tiranas, and for me, it was Falcons.
But this is it. I said to the two guys, the two Aussies who are here in the audience somewhere now, I said, Eric Banner's coming on. They went, Ford bloke. Well, that was it. You're a Ford bloke, therefore you're no good, because you're a Ford bloke and they're Holden blokes.
Completely discounted me. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Oh, yeah. No, because it seems to me that Bathurst combines everything really that you need in Australia, outside cooking, obviously, drinking and sport. Because this sport thing, it's weird, why? Because you're no good at it. So I don't know what the
one. The most recent one.
The rugby the other day.
Didn't we beat you last week?
We weren't playing. It was Johnny Wilkinson and some lawyers. Do you know the best thing, honestly, about having an Aussie here really is, and I don't know whether it's the same with Australia, because there are very few countrymen or countrywomen that we can tease and you can get joshy. Australia and England, it seems to me, are the last two countries on earth where you can go there and go, hardy wallet under the sofa, you won't find it there. Americans say, lost in Vietnam. I mean, they really... They just don't find that funny.
I mean, to be quite honest, we're happy. We ended up in the best country, so it's, you know, it's not a bad second prize as far as you're concerned.
It's quite dangerous, though, Australia.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I mean, how old are you?
41.
You must be the oldest Australian who hasn't been eaten by a shark or bitten by a spider.
There's a few around, but, you know, that's what happens when you have great beaches.
We've got great beaches.
Oh, you do, yeah, I know. Awesome surf too.
At least we have nice names.
Give me an example.
Well, no, because the thing I love about Australia, I really genuinely love, is the literal name. I've got this big sandy desert in the middle. What should we call it? The Great Sandy Desert. We've got this reef off the coast. It's like a barrier, the Great Barrier Reef.
This is, of course, as opposed to the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
Green Park.
Yeah, that's true. Green Park isn't very good, yeah.
4 weddings and a funeral.
That was very good. What about Mad Max? It's about a bloke who's mad, and he's called Max.
Perfect timing.
Now, I want to get onto the car thing, because it's, let's be honest, this proper love that you have, because you are now a bona fide Australian racing driver.
Oh, no, I just have a bit of fun in the Australian GT series, which is like your version would be like FIA GT3 racing, so I'm in a Porsche Cup car, 911.
So you're pretty good. I mean, it's not like you're just some actor who's...
I'm pretty good. I mean, I enjoy it, and I'd never stop doing it. So do you
define your life? Say, well, I'm not going to do that film because I really want to do that race.
Is this on in America?
No, America's the only country in the world this isn't shown.
Of course I've done that. Are you kidding me?
Everywhere else in the world, I hear that, but not America.
I'll never find out.
Now, if I could just say, you've been in some massive films, but the one that seems to me to be closest to your heart is the one that you've just brought out now, which is Love the Beast.
Love the Beast.
So tell me about that, because it's a very small film compared to, let's say, Troy.
Well, it is. It's a documentary that I directed, and I one day was looking at my Beast, which is my Ford Falcon Coupe. I'd had this car since I was 15, and I thought, this actually isn't a car. This is like some kind of a personal circumstances. And I started thinking more and more about that and how, cars, objects, in particular cars, I feel, can transcend themselves to become something else. I feel very deeply about it, so...
I couldn't agree more.
Right.
I mean, I really do believe that cars take on a personality. Not all cars, but some do. So this film is about your relationship with this car.
Yeah, and then I was competing in Targa Tasmania that year, so I thought, well, we'll just make the rally a bit of an action backdrop to this story about a guy having a car for his
having a relationship with a car.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got a clip here which I'd like to show everyone. Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1, go! And then a 5 left. It's slippery, apparently.
I feel like I'm breaking a horse. I feel like every day both horses are learning, me and the car.
Okay, 10 left, flying, finish, 6 left, caution, crest, long 2 right, 100. Car up.
Jeez.
I think what hurt the most was just knowing that it was going to happen, before it happened.
Well, I could have told you that was going to happen, because if you've got a muscle car, you go around the corner, you're going to hit a tree. Now, you went wondering whether to rebuild that car again.
True. One of the things that I was facing, whilst I was shooting the documentary, I never planned on crashing the bloody car. I'd killed it, basically. And then for a couple of months, we thought that it was dead and that we couldn't, in fact, repair it. And I decided that if it required a reshell, that I would not rebuild the car.
But does it?
It doesn't.
It doesn't, so you're going to rebuild it again?
So we're going to rebuild it again.
You do realise that everything you earned from Star Trek is going to be lost the next time you try to go around the corner in it when you've rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you didn't come thousands of miles to just sit and talk about this. You came to have a go out there in the reasonably priced car. So how was it?
It was slippery, but it was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've driven such a reasonably priced car.
Who would like to see Eric's lap? All right, mate, let's have a look. That is slippery.
I'll never Test cricket. But I'll drive the Top Gear track.
First corner now. That's. You see, there's somebody who knows how to drive. Look at that. Feel the grip from the reasonably priced Lassetti now.
You know what? I don't care about what my lap time is. Get out of the way, birds.
Yeah, look, non-dangerous birds. Not like those ones that burst on your windscreen, showering you in words, which is what happened in Australia. That's a bit of understeer there.
Lots of understeer there.
Tongue, put it away.
Slut.
Gearbox, sorry about that. Hasn't mended. Follow through. I meant to ask, were you flat through there?
Flat.
Yeah. And flat through the tyres, I'm guessing. Yep, that looks pretty flat to me. Now, second to last corner, this is the tricky one.
I don't think I ever got this one right.
No, let's have a look. You've got to cut it a bit. Yes, perfect. Now, just gambon. Oh, that's quite legal through there. Most people cheat. And there we are, across the line. Now, bearing in mind that was a wet lap.
Yeah, it was very slippery. I was waiting for it to dry out, but I think...
All right, it's enough excuses. Yeah. It's a wet lap. See you being a racing driver there. So I'm just looking for the fastest ever wet lap, which I think, what I can see, is Jamie Oliver on 47.7.
Well, I'm in two minds. I'd like to beat him, but my wife loves him.
Eric Banner, you did it in 1:47.5. There you go, mate. You did it. Oh, we're not going to wet on there. That is the fastest wet lap. The fastest. You are 0.2 of a second faster than a chef. But you are the fastest Australian.
Is there like a wet track ashes that I can take back to Australia?
Tell you what we'll do, we'll burn the car and put it in like a little thing, and you can take it back, and Australia can have some ashes for the next few years.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Banner!
Now, tonight, we're in Romania, looking for the best road in the world. We're driving an Aston Martin, a Ferrari, and a Lamborghini, and so far we'd each decided that our car was the best. James had got lost, and we'd ended up by mistake in Bucharest.
We left Bucharest the next morning and headed west, still full of wonderment for this amazing country and our cars. This car is down in my bowels. It's sinful.
I cannot tell you how joyful it is to drive a V12 sports car with a proper manual gearbox.
Manual gearbox? Really, in a GT car? You want that? It's about making your life easier. Fast, but easier and more comfortable. If you're going to go GT, Ferrari, surely.
Then, disaster. Romania only has 143 miles of motorway, and by 11 a.m, we'd used every one of them.
James, policemen. Many traditions and rituals surrounding policemen. Amongst them, if he has a gun, you must go and just unbutton it. Just because that says, I trust you with your weapon. Unbutton. Go and unbutton it.
I know.
No, just knock his hat off, James. They think it's funny. They often express their humour here with gunfire. We then told James we were stopping to put our wind deflectors up. But in fact, the real reason we stopped here is so that I could give him a surprise present.
Oh, God. Is it an ox? Is it a gypsy? Big one.
Nope. It's over there.
Or some wood?
In front of the wood.
No.
Yep. Seriously. I have bought you, it's second hand, but I have bought you a Dacia Sandero.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, seriously, that's my Dacia Sandero.
Yes. No piano is going to land on it. not a Morris Marina.
I'm quite touched.
That's fantastic.
Can I drive it?
Yeah, why don't you go off and drive it while we're putting these on?
All right.
That's a really neat. He's genuinely chuffed to bits.
For 2 years I've been dreaming about this car, and now I was actually driving it. Now, the Lamborghini is all very well. That's like the ultimate expression of what a car can be. But this is the essence of a car. All the bits you need, nothing more. No flim-flam.
This is a bit of a bath, isn't it?
A cool, refreshing, communist Walser. Jeez! I could buy that for Hammond. That could be his present.
Listen to this. Nice throaty little warble from the engine. It's a happy car, the Dacia Sandero. That is an excellent present. I don't know what he was actually thinking of there, because his presents are supposed to be irritating, but that's not irritating. That's superb.
Could you see anything in your screen?
No, nothing. Nothing.
Not when the roof's down?
As soon as the roof's down, the slightest hint of sun behind it, it's gone.
You haven't got the little sort of side joke, have you?
What?
Well, you can't take it back hand luggage.
I'll drive it back.
Well, all the way.
Yeah, took 2.5 days to get here in the end.
Stop! Stop! My car's parked there. You're supposed to look. Look! Mirrors! Not a mare's mile. You just backed straight into it, man.
Well, why did you leave it parked behind the lorry?
Well, I didn't know there was anybody in it. I was leaving it out of shot. I've only had it about half an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I think he was saying in Hungarian, or whatever it is, it's my fault for parking the car.
Well,
Probably
but
was.
it sort of is.
Jeez.
Oh.
Well,
You used it for work and everything, wouldn't you?
why don't you go away?
It would have been your everyday car. It would have made you happier.
There is an old tradition in this country that on the third Wednesday of every month, which is what today is, people with a black t-shirt on and a picture of a stupid Russian spark plug shut up. I like the Dacia Sandero. It was honest and simple. It was refreshing. It's broken.
As we travelled further west, the high-tech modern Romania we knew ran out.
It's getting a bit more Borat around here.
It's gypsy country here.
I am told that they can be a bit...
Violent if they don't like the look of you.
And on top of that, guess who was leading the convoy?
I'm going to take a punt on going right now.
Do we know that this is the right way?
Oh, sorry, Hammond, I'm just following May.
You do know what you've just said, don't you?
This road is becoming alarmingly lumpy. I'm worried about the Reventon-style nose.
The nose is too low. He's going to have to admit he's brought the wrong car.
Soon we were really lost.
The building, what can only be described, yes, it's a public execution.
Where on the map does it turn right?
Right at the partially built gallows.
That woman has an axe. That big woman has an axe.
She has an axe.
We drove deeper and deeper into Borat country, but luckily I bought something that would help me blend in. I'm wearing this hat, so gypsies think I am one, and that's fine. I'm just a lucky gypsy. Pool's winning gypsy. James said the next turning would take us back to the main road. It didn't. Oh no, wait, if we look what's behind you.
Yeah, the evidence is not stacking up.
There's this awesome car. We wanted to hit James over the head with a hammer, but the kids beat us to it. You seen this? Did you shrink the man in the car behind? Did you shrink that man, gypsies?
Getting through the village was bad enough. Getting out of it was even trickier.
Oh my God, you're joking.
Please fall off, please fall off, please fall off.
Okay, this is certainly a grand tour for these cars.
But with the village behind us and armed with some directions, it was plain sailing back to the main road. Thankfully, the damage was light.
Is it washer bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells of detergent. Is everybody all right in that car?
That's his second bit of bad luck.
Whose?
James's. That's his second car of the day.
Yeah. James?
Are there any cars you're not going to destroy?
James, how many cars have you destroyed
I
today?
didn't destroy it. I'd stopped, as you
Pretty much
saw.
every car with
I
which
saw you driving like an absolute maniac.
Shut
this
up.
poor man's days. Classic days here. Anyway, James, as you know, on Top Gear.
Yes, goodbye.
Thank you. Our hunt for the fabled road was not going well. And then it got worse. It went dark, we couldn't find a hotel, the petrol stations were closed, and because I was very low on fuel, I found a quiet, dead-end road and suggested we sleep in the cars. That put James and Richard in a bit of a mood. Listen, I can cheer you two up. Would you like some cannabis?
Yes, please.
Right.
Thanks.
Hey?
That's cannabis. No, specifically it says it's Swiss cannabis iced tea.
That's the best sort.
You can get this in petrol stations.
They sell cannabis in petrol stations here.
Would you like some plum liqueur in a bottle the shape of a violin?
Say yes.
Yes, it's just what the doctor ordered.
Gives you a
Oh,
fantastic natural feeling.
God!
Plum liqueur and cannabis.
Right, so we sleep in our cars, that's the
Yes.
I haven't got a back seat.
I told you brought the wrong car.
Oh, yes, obviously. When I chose it, I should have thought I'd better get one with a crap back seat.
Just get in your car.
Well, that's the plum liqueur gone.
We set about our unplanned consumer test. So it is a four-seater. They sell it as a four-seater. That must mean a human being can get in the back. Ah! Sorry, everyone.
What are you doing?
It's a design fault.
People are trying to sleep. I'm going to sleep in the front.
Bloody hell. Oh, sorry, mate. Do you sleep all right?
Yeah, well, good.
You not use the back?
No, I tried. Cold. What's that?
Damn, but it's all right, it's quite safe. I should imagine it was built by the Russians or the North Koreans, so we'll be fine.
Had I known
Sorry, mate.
you parked us next to that, I wouldn't have enjoyed such deep sleep.
No, the quality of all Soviet buildings is fantastic. I'm sure that'll be...
Why don't you shut up?
We set off once more in search of our road. Oh, yes! Suddenly I'm awake. And soon we reached the mountains where the road surface became as pimply as a teenager's face.
Look at the road now, it's practically ploughed.
This was yet another problem for James in his supercar.
Oh, please let it end. The torture went on for hours, but eventually the mountains gave up their secret.
Look!
God!
Built in the 70s, this is the Transfiguration Highway. 6,000 tons of dynamite were used to make it, and 40 lives lost. But from above, it looked looks like every great corner from every great racetrack in the world has been knitted together to create one unbroken grey ribbon of automotive perfection. Motorways and city centres and gypsy villages. They'd been slept in and ridden on, but now they had a chance to let their hair down. Oh, that's heavenly. That traction control now in the setting that allows a little bit of slip.
But here, on this road, the happiest bunny of us all was James.
I brought the right car. Lamborghini payback time. Oh, yeah.
I have to say this is one of the 2 or 3 best cars in the world right now. And the strange thing is, those 2 are driving 2 of the others. The road just got better and better. We were wrong! This is better than the Stelvio! This is the best road in the world! And the Romanian helicopter cameraman wasn't bad either.
What a finale to our Grand Tour.
Just want to say, Romania, thank you for having us. And can we stand? To Romania was that the Aston Martin, as I predicted at the beginning, was the best.
Except it was the Lamborghini.
Yeah, no, that was the Ferrari, was the best.
Look, guys, the 2 people whose opinion I respect most of all on all matters motoring, the Stig and Tiffany Dell, both say that the Aston Martin is the best car in the world right now.
Well, they're both wrong.
Aha! Let me draw your attention to this. This is a report of our visit, okay, in one of the leading Romanian newspapers. And look at the caption to this picture here. Okay, it's in Romanian, but I'll translate. Jeremy Clarkson in the Aston Martin, which is the best car in the world, camera, video.
It doesn't say that.
Yes, it does. And on that bombshell, it is time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Good night!